Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with a brand new video. This is actually another AEW video following the Cody Rhodes video I did a couple of days ago. I figured it would be good to keep the AEW momentum going. And aside from that Cody Rhodes Wrestling Superstars figure, these are the only other three AEW figures I have in my collection. And as a wrestling figure collector, you may be wondering, why haven't I got more AEW figures? Since AEW figures have been in production for at least the last, I want to say, year and a half. Yeah, year and a half roughly. And the reason is because I made a promise to myself. I collect so many WWE figures, first and foremost, that I did not really see the need in collecting a ton of AEW figures. And I actually made, as part of that promise, the only AEW figures I told myself I would buy if I saw them in stores would be a Chris Jericho figure or Kenny Omega. Certainly those two. I feel those two guys are two of the foundational pieces, two of the biggest stars, if not the two biggest stars in AEW short history to me, as far as the foundation of the company into what it is today. And then possibly the Young Bucks. I definitely respect the Young Bucks. To me, one of the best tag teams of all time. And if you don't feel that way about the Young Bucks, then you are someone who is stuck in the past. You just cannot argue with the quality of work these guys have put in over the last decade, and then for nothing else, over the last two and a half years of AEW's existence, they put on some of the greatest tag team matches that I've ever seen. So anyway, I saw these three, actually got these figures months ago, back in the spring, early spring, I believe. In fact, I got these, I want to say in the morning, possibly on the way to work. And if you're a figure collector, you know, all figure collectors, we have our certain, quirks, tendencies. And for some reason, I have found the best figures early in the mornings, early morning Target runs, early morning Walmart runs. I found some gems, before 8 o'clock in the morning. And then at Target, I found some gems before, Target opens at 9. So when you shop figure hunt early, you can find some pretty good surprises. But in any case, just want to get into these figures. I'm not going to do an unboxing. These AEW figures, the WWE boxes are complex enough to open, so I definitely do not want to have all that on camera. So this is just going to be really just a quick overview of these figures. And the one thing about the AEW figures I really appreciate now, which I did not like before, is the boxes. And when you're so used to, WWE's boxes with the elite figures, you're so used to, the full image of the wrestler on the side. And I love those. And it took me a while to appreciate these. But even when you just look at these figures stacked, these figures, grouped together in a line, it just really stands out. Just the nice gold, I don't want to say it's foil, but just the gold accents, and then just the gold theme overall. The gold on the top, and then in the elite and E of the AEW logo, and then on the side the wrestler's name, really gives it a really, I guess I'll say, regal, classy vibe. And it reminds me actually of the Jakks Classic Superstars figures from back in the day. Those figures to me had probably the best box wrestling figures ever. They just really they were very similar to this, and they were actually black and gold base as well, black and gold design. So we're just going to go over the figures. Let's see what we got. Have the Young Bucks. This is Matt Jackson. And he has a very weird look on his face. And actually, the figure looks like him. The likenesses on these figures is excellent. It's just like he has some kind of dark rings around the eyes. When I saw this figure in the store, I was like, this is interesting. But this is actually, and as a matter of fact, we can show his brother, Nick Jackson. We can put Omega to the side for this moment. I love these outfits. Their first AEW figures, they had those Elvis outfits, which I hated those. That's just not my style. And I was, always thinking, if I see some more AEW figures, some more Young Bucks figures with a better outfit, I'm definitely going to get them. And then thankfully these came out not too long after that. I just like the blue and gold vibe, the jackets with the kind of cheetah skin, the cheetah, cheetah theme stripe. My fashion terminology is not coming out the way I want to today. Even the tassels on the boots, and I love the leather, just the leather jacket. I love, and a lot of wrestling fans are, I think a lot of wrestling fans, from what I see on Instagram, and wrestling figure collectors, wrestling figure collectors do not prefer the leather attire. I'm in the camp where I love the leather. I prefer the leather attire over cloth attire because it's just, one, it stays. You don't have to worry about it, moving and being all over the place. I just think the figure just looks much cleaner with the plastic accessories, plastic shirts, plastic ring jackets, things of that nature. But these figures are very great likeness. And as you see on Nick Jackson, he has the headband. But outside of that, these figures are great likeness of the Young Bucks. You can't ask for nothing more in a figure. And then on the back, you have the picture of the event where they were wearing this attire in. And these figures are part of the Unrivaled collection, Unrivaled Series 3 collection. So we're going to turn these back around. And then we're going to close out with Kenny Omega, the reigning AEW World Champion. Kenny Omega, known as the Cleaner, the best bout machine, just one of the incredible wrestler. He's one of the, Kenny Omega, as I said earlier, him and the Young Bucks, well, I said him and Jericho, but really when the creation of AEW would not be an AEW without Kenny Omega, without the Young Bucks, without Chris Jericho, without Cody Rhodes. So those guys and others too, Hangman Adam Page, cannot discount him. That whole kind of elite core of Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Hangman Adam Page, that was the nucleus of the bubbling that started the initial All In show, which led to the formation of AEW in 2019. And this figure is incredible. There are a lot of Kenny Omega figures I've seen, not so many in stores. I've seen more Kenny Omega figures online. Actually, I've seen the most recent one in stores, but to me, this one is right down my alley because it's very simple. He has I love the pants. I just like the design on them. It's really eye-catching, and I love the leather vest. If this was just, even like his current figure, the current figure in the I don't know if it's not Unrivaled, what's the other series, but the other series they have out right now is just Kenny Omega without a vest, without nothing. And to me, this figure the vest just makes it just complements everything well. The likeness, Kenny Omega's face. This figure looks just like the image of the man right here. So Jazzwares, which is a company that produces these figures, they're doing an excellent job. And when I do go in the stores and see AEW figures, there are no complaints from me. They look exactly like the wrestlers they're supposed to depict. Accessories are good, and this boxing just really has caught my eye. It's really just I really love it. And when I first got these figures, I did not like the AEW boxing. So again, these figures get the job done for me. And like I said, these are, and I support AEW. I wish AEW the best. I definitely want them to be as successful as possible. And they've had, and these three guys are a big part of the reason of AEW success. When you look at AEW now and you see the CM Punks and the Brian Danielson and, just all the other guys who have made Adam Cole and all the other major names who have come into the promotion over the last year. These guys were part of the nucleus. So, I mean, for their place in wrestling history, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks are, to me, three of the not only best, but three of the most influential wrestlers of, I would say, the last 20 years, just with what they have done in changing the style of wrestling, opening up new styles of wrestling, and the impact they've made here in America, as well as, their work in Japan, more so Omega's work in Japan. I mean, Omega's work in Japan is, of legendary quality, and what he's done in AEW over the last 2 years just added to his legacy as being one of the greatest in-ring performers of this current era. And if you need any proof of that, just watch his match with Brian Danielson from Rampage a few weeks ago. That match was one of the best free television matches you will ever see ever in any wrestling promotion. That was just a flawless storytelling execution, just one of the best wrestling matches you will see all year. And the Young Bucks, they've been putting out bangers just about every time they go into the ring. Their match against the Lucha Brothers from the last AEW pay-per-view was one of the best, if not best, cage matches I've ever seen. And it was just, these guys are awesome. Can't say enough good things about these three guys. So again, this is my AEW, I guess we'll call this AEW Elite figure review. So hope you enjoyed this, and continue just to check this page out. Follow me on Instagram at JD Collectibles. You can see more of my wrestling figure collection and collection of other, wrestling, nerdy goodies. And I will see you again after a while. Take it easy.